Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks to those that will be watching live or will be watching later in archive. Welcome to like this video, fans of Gravity Falls. Looking forward to Weirdmageddon Part 2. But obviously, welcome to like, subscribe, share, and all the other jazz as well if you do so wish to do so. But anyways, in this episode, in this video, I wanted to talk about my thoughts about Weirdmageddon Part 2, the preview of Weirdmageddon Part 2, Escape from Reality, is already here. I just saw on a couple of YouTube channels that talk about Gravity Falls. Obviously, I mean, where else? Those are those are the type of channels you will find it because it's talking about the show itself. So that was kind of redundant. But anyways, I saw the preview, seen it a couple times actually, and just makes me think, what exactly this episode's going to be like. We kind of get a glimpse of what it is like in the prison bubble of Mabel and everything. Seemed like at least in one of them she was upset. It's kind of like her own dreamscape in a way. And Billy, it says it's kind of a trap too, a diabolical trap within a, I don't know, it's a prison bubble, then within a trap, within a whatever. It's kind of a weird um, thing to think through. But either way, highly looking forward to the episode. Obviously, that's going to be the main focus of it, in the bubble, trying to help Mabel get out. So I don't think anything else outside of that with Bill Cipher or really anything else playing a major part, at least in this episode. The bigger things we get to come in part 3. There still are those other pieces to that big puzzle, I guess you can call it, of all those end cards put together of each and every episode to the entire series, which makes me think that end card is supposed to be for the end of the series, not just the end of the seasons, meaning then maybe it was always planned to only have 2 seasons. Or Alex Hirsch might already know that it's going to a 3rd season. He's just trying to hold it off and not say anything because he wants to try to get this part 2, or if there is a part 3 or whatever else would be coming up. He wants that to be a mystery for one off, and he wants that to be one of the highest rating episodes for Gravity Falls, his show, and for Disney XD, and everything to show that they definitely should get that 3rd season. So he could be hiding the fact that they got greenlit for the 3rd season because they have enough questions or enough things to bring up and have throughout the whole 3rd season. If there is a 3rd season, I always go back and harp back to, there's this one scene that we see with the voice actor who plays Dipper and him, actually way back even when they were just promoting the show, period, before the debut of Gravity Falls. And it was one scene, I don't know, maybe it just hit the cutting room floor and never was part of an episode that was supposed to be here in these 2 seasons, or if it's in an episode moving forward, or if it was from one of the shorts that they were already planning in between season 1 and 2. You never know how far you plan. Like for me, with my kind of thinking, I would plan how far ahead. You kind of have to in this kind of show where you have secrets, and obviously you have to, the clues and what clues you want for each episode, then to get to, finding out who the author is, or this whole Weirdmageddon, this battle, leading up to it, and clues to different things, and red herrings, and all the other things that we've seen throughout the whole season 1 and most of season 2 here. So, I guess I was watching a video of the Royal Order of the Holy Mackerel, Douglas McCrell, a good friend of mine, and he has great work on his channel. Again, it's the Royal Order of the Holy Mackerel. I have it on my channel on the right side, because hopefully I'll be able to be part of some of his live meetings that are the last Saturday of every month, talking Gravity Falls and upcoming episodes and whatnot on the TV show, and about it, of course. And I was watching a video of his going over his thoughts of part 1, and one of the things he said is that as of right now, there's nothing promoted for part 3. As of right now, nothing even remotely like anything can be planned, anything like whether it's 3 weeks or whatever in advance. And he equated it to the fact that now it's the holiday season, and for me, I always say that the holiday season starts October 1st with Halloween added as well. But the true holiday season for most. Now into November, going into Thanksgiving and Christmas, Disney Channel playing, classic movies, um, um, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving and Christmas, and other ones. I like obviously throughout the whole season, all the way up until New Year's Day, and then maybe we'll get part three, or we won't, or it'll just be two parts, and we'll have to wait for the third season. Because another thing that could be thought about, and I don't know if anybody else has brought this up, but with the end cards making that finished product of a puzzle in a way with all those end cards put together, and that's supposed to be, after each and every episode, I kind of think it could be the end, the whole series. Well, what if there's a whole new end card, a quick one, made up on a different one? That's, let's just say here we have Weirdmageddon, we have them defeating Bill, but you still have other questions, other things to deal with after the aftermath. That's what I want to see. That's what I want a third season to be, the aftermath. How things are different. How everybody does, and kind of, I don't know, simply just the aftermath. What happens, and see how that all plays out. I would think and hope that there's a third season. That kind of a feeling it might just be here at the end. Just by the way everything's going, and has been going here near the end of the second season of the show. But specifically, like I said, about this escape from reality, hearing different theories about this bubble and about Mabel, and even about Mabel's involvement with Weirdmageddon, in general, and all that other stuff that others obviously I've seen from others. But my own thought and my own thought process from watching this preview is that obviously it's going to be solely of Dipper, Wendy, and Seuss trying to get Mabel out of this bubble, trying to, like I said, escape from reality, escape from. Well, actually, no. The bubble itself is the escape from reality. I believe, Mabel being in that bubble. It's not exactly what we thought of, like a dream of her, of a endless summer kind of dream. It's just more of, at least when I once it almost looked like a Sleeping Beauty situation where it's just laying there and it's everything else is going on around her, which then truly means it's in her mindscape, which is where Bill's at his best, Bill Cipher. So the escape from reality is Mabel's and her escape, her own escape from the reality of Bill taking over and everything, and what Dipper. That's why Dipper wants to try to get her back. Escaping from this reality to be able to fight Bill and in the end win, which will happen. But as much as we already know that, we still want to get to the journey of how. Of that point, so to speak. So, like I said, I just wanted to talk about that, bring that up, give my 2 cents there. As we get closer and closer, or more teasers, or more previews, or whatever, I'll actually do a prediction, or at least something to that effect for the next episode, Escape from Reality, Weirdmageddon Part 2, and go from there. But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to share my thoughts, and hopefully things go the way they should, and hopefully, in the end, it is Team Dipper defeating Bill and his friends, because then everything go back. Then we get Ford back and Robbie and everybody else, kind of go back to where it was. But we'll talk about that if there is a part 3 or whatever. Because maybe this could be it. This could, this Escape from Reality Part 2, whatever, could be the end of the series. But also, if it was, it would have been highly promoted that way. Disney, as it seems this way, they always, when they promote shows that are their series ending, they promote that pretty hard, as in pretty simple, so people know. Whether it's kids that are watching or others that are watching or whoever the audience, they know that this is in fact a series finale. Like, I know Austin and Ally is going to be ending in January or February. I didn't know. I actually found out in an interview I saw on YouTube of Laura Morano, the beautiful Laura Morano, talking about the last scenes and how her and the cast already have had video chats, kind of a reunion already. Even though I don't know how long they've finished from taping, but already, reunions of that type. Now, whether or not Laura Morano or Ross Lynch will ever date, I don't know, but that's their business, and it's they're better as friends and they're better as friends. But anyways, back on topic. I was just bringing that up just because when they get to that point and promote that episode as the series finale of Austin and Ally, then each and every time from the very first promo they show, whether online or on Disney Channel, then it'll say series finale. So here, I think it would have been the same thing if we were getting part 2, Escape from Reality, would be the series finale. They would have driven that home, that fact that this is the series finale, this is the final battle. So there must be a part 3, and it must be after the holiday season, which I'm going to predict already, even though this isn't a predictions episode of any kind. But I'm going to predict that series finale being in mid-January. Obviously, I don't have any insight to knowing of this, but it's just my opinion and my thought that that's just the way it's going to go, especially with, like I said, Austin and Ally going to be ending around that time, if not early February. That's also around Super Bowl time for the NFL and stuff like that, and those are obviously NFL fans of all ages, but you know what I mean. You have something for the NFL fans, and then obviously you have here for Disney Channel and stuff like that. So I would think that'd be the best time to do it, right? During that time in January, you're getting your shows are coming back after this long holiday hiatus. Now, I'm sure the shows that we have now, whether it's Best Friends Forever, Bunk, it's Austin and Ally still going on. I didn't do it. Hopefully that show does come back. It seemed like that episode that they just had previously was a series finale, but was not dubbed a series finale. So, and Girl Meets World. How could I forget Girl Meets World? My favorite show when I was a child was Boy Meets World, and I'm so glad that they have Girl Meets World. Actually, I might even do an episode of a video of about Girl Meets World right after this one posts. But just with all those shows, they're going to have their holiday episodes, Thanksgiving and Christmas episodes, during the holidays. But beyond that, there are not going to be any true new episodes of those shows, of any of them, in my opinion. So, with that thought process, and this being the last of Gravity Falls into the holiday break, so to speak, then we'll have a long wait for part 3, or for what maybe Disney will actually call Weirdmageddon, because even in this little thing that I saw, it does not say Weirdmageddon Part 2, Escape from Reality, as I'm saying it, as it is, technically. It just says Gravity Falls, Escape from Reality. Which makes me think that when we get off the holiday break, sorry for shouting there, but when we get off the holiday break, that one will be called and actually dubbed Weirdmageddon Part 2. Even though for all of us fans and the fandom in general, we'll know it's technically Part 3 of the series. Heck, even Part 4 if you want to call Dipper and Mabel versus the Future Part 1. But, that's up to each individual fan of Gravity Falls. So that's just my thoughts. Like I said, that's my early prediction that if there is a Part 3 or a Part 3 and Part 4, which I'm really hoping, if for anything to try to, prolong this series for as long as we can, especially if we're not going to get a Season 3. If we are going to get a Season 3, then it really doesn't matter, but still, might as well do as much as you can. Have everything, all its chips down, and just all out for these last few episodes for the series, or even just for the season. Because I do hope there's a Season 3. I do fear that it's not going to happen, even with the great ratings, because as Alex Hirsch said himself in past interviews, he's not going to do a Season 3 that's, going to make everything that he worked for and everything that this series has been built up to just have a Season 3 just because to have it. There has to be a purpose, a rhyme and reason, and not just it being a, just to have the season, and then not have the ratings that the other ones did, and to also not have the story arcs and storylines that that would keep the fans, captivated. I mean, for me, it would, because I love the show in each and every episode, whether it was truly significant or not. Each and every episode has been awesome, but that's his show. It's his thought process, and we'll see. So if it is going to be the end of the series, like I said, as I predicted, the part 3 will be probably mid-January. I'd say like January 16th through 22nd or sometime there. I don't even have a calendar in front of me, so I don't know those days. But during that week or one of those weeks around that time would be when it comes back off this long break. But then again, us Gravity Falls fans have had longer breaks, especially between season 1 and season 2. Heck, it was so long that they had that miniseries in between just so we could get something that was Gravity Falls. So. But anyways, like I said, there's part 2, this Escape from Reality episode of Gravity Falls. It's going to be a doozy. It's going to be great, and obviously it's going to be specific on Mabel and Dipper, or Dipper trying to get Mabel back with the help of Wendy and Susan, seeing if they are successful and how that all works out. Because I'm sure that's probably how it's going to end. You want to talk about a cliffhanger of here part 2 into part 3 that we won't see until, like I said, mid-January or early February at the latest. Then, when I keep people talking about it, you have a great cliffhanger of they finally get her out of there, and then and then something to that effect, and then it says to be continued. I was trying to think of exactly how it would end, but I couldn't really think of one on the fly that would make that much sense. But something to that effect, they get her out of the bubble. They finally solve this Rubik's Cube of whatever this trap that Bill has within the bubble, because I'm sure Bill, being smart enough, he knew that Dipper would find a way to get in there, whether he brought other people with him or not. And so Bill having either his puzzles or at least kind of like the Joker, the Joker and Batman in the Batman series. Will Bill Cipher versus Dipper Pines in this situation here in Gravity Falls. So that's where I think that cliffhanger is going to be for part 2. But obviously, I'll be talking about that more when we get closer to the episode and I do my actual predictions and preview. If we ever get in part 2, hopefully you guys do join me live, and welcome to join me in this hangout as I invite pretty much all, because I are following them, as in following them on Google+. So I invite everybody there that does Gravity Falls content, whether it's the Shapeshifter 2.0, the Royal Order of the Holy Mackerel, the Hoof-Hearted, Color Wanders, and aka LOLO 16, and many others that do Gravity Falls content that I've reached out in YouTube messages, if I can think clearly, YouTube messages, or obviously inviting them to each and every one of these live broadcasts talking Gravity Falls. It'd be great to have other people, as I did a couple of videos ago with the Shapeshifter 2.0, being able to join me for that, to talk Gravity Falls and to preview. So that will be coming up probably next week. I don't want to say a different time and then be wrong, but at some point next week, Monday through Friday, of course, I will be doing that. I'm just checking my calendar. At least now I'm checking a calendar to see what exactly. Yeah, because the episode's still in 2 weeks, on the 23rd. So between the 16th and the 20th here in November next week, I will be doing my predictions and preview of Part 2, Escape from Reality, and hopefully those other Gravity Falls YouTubers, Veilsky Bomb 94 as well, and and Mr. Freakiness, I think his YouTube channel is, and like I said, many others, as I already described in a little bit earlier. And if you are a fan of theirs and you're watching this video, whether you stumbled upon it or not, let them know about my content first off, and let them know that they're definitely invited to be part of the discussion for my video next week, talking Gravity Falls and hopefully they can join the Hangouts so you can get their perspective here on this channel. And welcome to subscribe, and you'll know when I do go live for any of my videos, whether it's Gravity Falls, WWE podcast, or NFL podcast. Excuse me, you'll be the first to know. So welcome to subscribe and share this video, or maybe share this video specifically of Gravity Falls that I'm doing here, but those other Gravity Falls YouTubers. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, enjoyed my thoughts and theories and all the fun in between. And I'll talk to you guys all next week. We're only 2 weeks away. It was exactly 2 weeks yesterday, but 2 weeks away from this big episode, and I can't wait. So enjoy your days, and take care.